Hey.
Day 3.
Protein. So today is attention. That's the A, protein. So we're going to talk a little bit about protein here for just a moment and go from there.
Fun fact. We said in our last video that we need to eat our calories in certain portions. So we need to make sure our calories are distributed across 3 different macros in the appropriate portion so that we can fuel our body the best that we can. Now, if your body gets a lot of carbohydrates, it will store those for later use. If your body gets a lot of fat, it will store that for later use. But guess what it doesn't store for later use? Protein. So we have to make sure that our body is getting an adequate amount of protein every single day. And as women, and I feel like men may not have as much of an issue with this, but definitely as women, we are definitely not getting in as much protein as our bodies need. And so when you're macro counting, you're actually paying attention and being mindful of how much of protein that your body is taking in.
Right. And I think when we first started macro counting and we were doing different research on macros, some of the top few things they said to start with is make sure you're in a calorie deficit every single day and make sure you hit your protein. The fats and the carbs will come later, but that should be your focus. So if you have trouble getting your protein in, start with that. Make sure that that's on the forefront every single day, is that you hit that protein. And then you'll see, you're going to have your protein, but you're not just going to eat a big slab of meat every single meal, maybe some days. But you're going to have other things on your plate, filling that up. Salads, things like that to help balance it out. Some carbs, some sweet potatoes, all those things. But I always try to lead with my protein so I know that I hit it at the end of the day.
Why? Because when you're in a calorie deficit, your body is looking to find ways to fuel its metabolic reactions. So it is looking for energy. And if you are not eating the right amount of protein, your body will start pulling from your muscle tissue. And why is that bad? Your body will automatically say, hey, muscle, you have energy in it. I need this energy because I'm not getting enough calories. So I'm going to take it from you. Why is it bad?
Well, you don't want to lose your muscle. We want to lose the fat, right? We want our body to take from those fat storages and those things. And so we want those muscles to stay, right? You want those muscles fueled so that they are protected in there. So we have to hit that so that our body isn't searching for it there.
From those muscle tissues. Because weight loss will happen if you are in a calorie deficit. Muscle loss will happen if you're not eating adequate amounts of protein. Why do we want muscle? Sarah, what is it? Look at this girl. Look at her. What is it muscles are doing for us? Not only physically. Muscles are really demanding. And that means they want to be fueled. So the more muscle that you put on, the more energy is going to go into your body is going to put into trying to maintain that muscle. So anyway, another advantage of having muscle internally is that your body is trying to maintain it. And so your metabolism is going. It's speeding up when you've got lean tissues.
Yes. Okay, so generally the amount of protein, and you'll calculate this later through a macro calculator. You don't have to do much, just input things. But generally the amount of protein that you need is usually around 0.8 grams to 1.5 grams per pound that you weigh. So right around, if you're at 150 pounds, how much would that be?
I usually round to about 1 gram per pound.
Yeah, so you'd be
so
150.
it'd be just over 150 if you were at one, and that really is based on your level of activity. So if you're much more active, you're going to be closer to that 1.5 grams per pound than the 0.8. If you're not very active, then stick closer to that 0.8 grams per pound.
And let's talk really quick about complete proteins and incomplete proteins. Like, what the heck does that even mean? What are complete? What are incomplete? So give us some examples of complete proteins.
Complete proteins you can usually find in your meats and some of your vegetables, and they contain all of the building blocks of a protein. But we also have some incomplete ones.
So there's different, complete proteins. Those are going to have those essential amino acids that your body can't make itself. And you don't always have to eat complete proteins, but you do want to have a balance of them. You know, there's like collagen powders. That's not a complete protein. So you're getting protein, but it's not totally complete. It's not full of all the essential amino acids in there. So meat, fish, eggs, dairy, including whey protein, spirulina. I always think of that one commercial. Quinoa, but he says Joaquin. Anyways, funny. Are some of the things that have a complete protein that you don't have to is this complete? I don't know. And then some vegetables, seeds, nuts, legumes, grains, certain protein powders are incomplete. You are getting protein, but it's not the fullness of what you need will require. But it would still count towards your protein count.
Right.
So
definitely. You just want to make sure you have a good balance of what it is that you're eating. We're certainly not encouraging you to only eat meat all day, every day, but balance your protein intake out over your grains, your meats, your vegetables. Complete or incomplete, your body is going to be fueled better if you do that.
Yes. Anything else we want to cover on protein?
We love it. It's really important. It has changed my mindset when it comes to counting macros. I feel like we've both experienced incredible body transformations because we're paying attention to the amount of protein we're consuming. So again, if you're in a calorie deficit, if your goal is to lose weight, pay attention to the calories that you're eating. Pay attention to the quantity of protein that you're eating.
Because you want to lose fat. You do not want to lose your muscles. So keep those muscles, because when you lose all that fat and you're not gaining up those muscles, your body composition is not going to be what you're thinking it's going to be. It's going to be a little flabbier, and you want that balance so that it transitions together and it's pretty.
And it keeps your metabolism really high. So you're really working on burning more calories every single day, just living.
And the one thing about protein is really spread it out. Don't focus on just protein shakes, because you're going to be a farting mess. I'm going to tell you right now, protein farts are real, and you need to be careful with things like that.
But we don't have anything against protein powders.
No, it's great.
And alternate supplementation of proteins. And it's a great way to get in big quantities of protein initially when you're starting out, especially when you're looking for those real protein-rich sources. Yes. You will eventually evolve into that. But starting out with those shakes and stuff, while you may have some sensitivities to it, is a great way to start getting your protein initially.
Yes. At the end of the day, if you're low, a protein shake is awesome to just get you to where you need to be. But like I said, don't let that be your only source. Really, like drinking your calories, sometimes you got to do it. Drinking your protein, sometimes you got to do it. But try to find it where you're eating your calories, you're eating your protein. You're going to feel fuller and better that way. So